again, this side of the aisle has to fault the last-minute nature of this process. It would not be hard at all, with a little bit of discipline, a little professionalism across the board, to have a budget sit for a week or 2 weeks so the press can dissect it, so we can, and so we can all know what we're voting for. Nobody who's going to vote for this thing tonight has read it, because we just received it 15 minutes ago. I got 56 pages of line items and budget wording. Well, it's impossible to go through that in that amount of time. Certainly not unless you're an Evelyn Wood speed reader and speed mathematician. So no one who votes for it tonight is going to have read it or really knows what's in it. We do know some things. We do know that there's still hundreds of millions of dollars of pork here, and much of it put into the 26 supplemental. We're going to talk about that in the next couple of days, because the governor, I think, and legislative leadership wanting to give her a win and say that this is commensurate with her budget proposal, the hundreds of millions of dollars shoved into the supplemental in order to offset spending that would otherwise have been in 27 budget is an interesting shell game that, again, we'll talk about. And still, despite the hundreds of millions of dollars in what is arbitrary pork, there are critical services not being met. Tourette syndrome services were still cut. Rutgers cancer screening was still cut. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial, really $250,000 cut to a memorial honoring our Vietnam veterans. Give me a break. While we're funding hundreds of millions of dollars in random giveaways, pork, to random school districts, municipalities, and other pet causes of the powerful. Education, still, Governor Steinhardt mentioned this, it would have been easy, actually, to fix some of the most egregious cuts to those districts that were due increases this year. According to the school funding formula, we went away from the school funding formula to punish these districts. Would have been easy to fix. We're going to be talking about all of these things again in the coming days and now weeks, since it's going to take a long time to digest this. But for all those reasons, I'm a no.